Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to ISKCON Silicon Valley. It is my greatest pleasure to introduce to you His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. He's on a mission all over the world, especially to organize programs in universities, to bring people together in Krishna consciousness. He's been teaching for years in Pune. He's developed one of the most exemplary communities in the entire world. So much so that it's overflowing. He has to send his students out all over the world to carry on what he started in Pune. We've asked him, and he's very kindly accommodated us to be part of our organization here, even though he lives far away in Pune. We are working on building an underground tunnel so he doesn't have to fly, and he can just put it on a bobsled and bring him back and forth to this place. Today, he'll give a special presentation, and he'll avail himself to any questions that you have. So please take in everything. If you have questions you'd like to ask him, he'll make time for you at the end. And he'll just hold forth here for a while, and we can all take advantage of it. Let's give the warmest ISKCON of Silicon Valley welcome that we've ever given anyone here. Please. Radheshyam Prabhu. Swagatam Suswagatam.
Hare Krishna. So the Mridanga video, ready? So they are going to display a song for you just now, a short song, okay? Parama Karuna Pakudurindana Nitai Gaurachandra Parama Karuna Pakudurindana Sabayavata Sarasiromani Devalayananda Kanda Sarasiromani Madhavai Chaitanya Nittai Sudrida Vishwasa Kodi Vishayachariya Sera Sevadiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Dekho more bhai Tribhuvan nai Yamana doya ladata Tribhuvan nai Pashu pakhi dhure Patana vidare Shuni jara guna gatha Pashu pakhi dhure Samsare madhya Pahili podiya se pade nahi lavasha samsare nahi apana karama bhunjaye samana kahaye lochanada Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिते नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। गौर भक्त वृंद, गौर भक्त वृंद। Welcome all of you for the Sunday evening festival here. I was actually intending to hear from this Radheshyam Prabhu today. Later on, Prabhuji tricked me by saying that I will speak half the time and you speak half the time. I agreed for it. So I was supposed to speak 30 minutes and then he would speak 30 minutes. When I came here, Prabhu said, you have to speak the whole lecture today. Because he said we have lost a little time and then 5 o'clock the program ends. It will be best if you do it yourself. So I will follow his order. I can speak this pastime today, but Prabhu is one example who is living the pastime in his personal life. One time when we were in one Vrindavan Yatra, there were like few thousand devotees. Gauranga Prabhu, my dear godbrother, went to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and said, Maharaj, everybody goes for Dham Yatra in the morning and 1 o'clock they come. Everybody stands in a queue, 800 or 1,000 devotees or 2,000 devotees, and it becomes difficult for us to serve prasad. We are only a handful of brahmacharis. Can you please put a word to the congregation, 5 minutes if you can, say the importance of seva bhav, service attitude. I'll be grateful, he said. And when Maharaj took the mic, he ended up speaking the whole lecture on service attitude. It was a 2 hours lecture he spoke. The importance of how great Vaishnavas are and how important it is to serve the Vaishnavas. So when he finished, after that there was lunch at 1 o'clock that day. So there were 800 people in queue for serving prasad. Now Gauranga Prabhu had another type of problem now. He said, I never told Maharaj to give such a long lecture. So I just told 5 minutes and he ended up speaking the whole talk. Then he had to beg the devotees, please sit down and take prasad. Everybody said, no, Maharaj has told us today we have to serve today. Generally, you see Vaishnavas, if they hear some lecture, if somebody hears a lecture on Vaishnava Aparad, they say, all my life I will never say anything bad about any Vaishnava. How many of you felt like that? When you heard a lecture, correct, no? You think like that. Same way, when you heard about service attitude, people thought we are not doing any service. Now I will put my sweat and toil in serving. Anyway, he only accepted 50 people for serving. Everybody else was made to sit. Then they served prasad. So next day morning, again Maharaj took the mic and asked, in yesterday's program, prasadam program, who enjoyed more? Those who served prasad or those who ate prasad? And everybody unanimously agreed that those who served prasad enjoyed more. How is that in serving you enjoy more than receiving service? This was a great paradox that Lord Krishna also felt at one point of time. When he was sitting in the spiritual world with Srimati Radharani, he told Radharani that, oh Radhe, I feel that all of you devotees experience millions of times greater bliss than what I experience. Because I am a Swami, Master, and you all are serving me, and I can see that your faces are lit up with so much delight in serving. and I am only receiving service. I don't think I am as happy as you people are. I want to see what happiness that you feel in your heart when you render service. And Radharani smiled and said, that is not possible for you to recognize, understand, because we are all servants and you are our Swami, Master. How can you experience what we experience? That is unique to us. Just like a lotus, it cannot recognize its own beauty, its fragrance, and the sweetness of its honey. Who can enjoy that? Only a bee who sits in the lotus. Similarly, the devotees relish Krishna's beauty, the fragrance of Krishna's dust particle falling from Krishna's lotus feet, and the sweetness of his pastimes, everything. They can only relish it. And Krishna himself, he doesn't know how wonderful he is. Only devotees know it. So Radharani said that is never possible for you. We are in a devotee role. We only can experience it. Then at that time, there was one pendant in Krishna's chest with a necklace, like this necklace and a pendant. You know pendant? Big pendant. It had a big bright diamond. And when Radharani's eyes fell on that, because the pendant shone so brilliantly, it came on Radharani's face, and Radharani saw an amazing sight in that. In that, she saw there was one very beautiful personality who was having long flowing hair. His body was golden in complexion, and with arms raised, he was constantly, stream of tears were pouring from his eyes. He was dancing and singing, not alone, but with a big group of devotees around him. They were all playing mridanga and kartal, and they were in the bank of some holy river which was gushing with pure waters, and the sandy beach was like a golden powder, and he was singing and dancing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So he is singing, he is dancing, his gestures, his bodily beauty, and the golden hue. All this was very amazing. So Radharani was very amazed. She told Krishna, who is this beautiful personality? Besides you, I am not attracted by anyone. How is it that I am feeling attraction for this personality? When I look at him, he has a resemblance of you. When I look at his eyes, that resembles my eyes. Big bumblebee-like eyes. So, is it me or is it you? And Krishna smiled and said, that you will eventually come to know who it is. He said, in this particular form, I will be able to experience the joy of serving Krishna. What is that form? That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the form he showed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting and dancing in Nadia, in Navadvip, near Mayapur, the place of Mayapur. So, that is Krishna himself. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shakti Rasmat Ekatmanavapi Bhupura Deha Vedam Gatautau Chaitanyakyam Prakatamadhuna Tadbayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So he is Radha Bhava, he is carrying Radha Bhava but he is Sakshat Krishna. He's saying Radha and Krishna, they are two, but when they combine together, Aikyam, it says, then they become Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya appears in Navadvip Dham, and his form is very beautiful because Krishna is beautiful. He is Sakshat Krishna, so he is very beautiful. At the same time, Lord Chaitanya is considered more merciful than Krishna also. Why? Actually, Krishna is also Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu, we say. He is also very merciful. But when Krishna becomes combined with Radharani's mood, he becomes extra merciful, even more. Because the mother, the divine mother, Radharani is considered Jagannatha, she is considered more merciful. She is so merciful when she resides as a golden hair in the chest of the Supreme Lord. She makes the Lord's heart also more softer. Like that, there is a verse which says, Tat pakshasthala nityavasa rasikam takshanti sammardini, it says. So, Krishna said, in this form, I will relish your bhava, he tells her. So that is Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appears in this world. And later on, when he took sannyas at the age of 24, he went and resided in Jagannath Puri Dham, the next 24 years. And in those 24 years, what he did, if you see, 6 years you will see, Mahaprabhu went to South India for preaching, you will see. Then he also went to Vrindavan, he went. And he also stayed in Puri for 18 years, where he experienced a very great, intense spiritual ecstasies. So His Grace Jananivas Prabhu was telling us once in Srila Mayapur, you can serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in two ways. One way is, when he goes to South India to preach, he wants a lot of help of devotees to assist him in preaching, in his preaching mission. Like for example, 6 Goswamis helped him, assisted him in preaching by staying in Vrindavan Dham, excavating holy places, building the temples like Madan Mohan, Govinda Gopinath and all those temples. And also writing spiritual literature, which is quintessence of all the Vedic literature, especially highlighting devotional service to Sri Krishna as the ultimate path based on Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Varaha Purana, Narasimha Purana, all those Puranas and everything. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was assisted by Goswamis in terms of expanding the preaching mission. So, we also can do that. How? By distributing books. We are expanding the mission. That's one of the ways you can assist. Another way you can assist Lord Chaitanya is like Swarup Damodar, and on one side Swarup Damodar, another side Ramananda Rai. They are Lalita and Vishaka Sakhis. So they both are constantly enhancing the Viraha Bhava, pacifying the Viraha Bhava of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by singing poetry from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tava katamritam tapta jivanam kaviditam parmashapaham savanamangalam srimadakatam bhuvidrinam like this, they would sing different songs from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and hearing that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will become very pleased and pacified. And like the Lalita Vishaka Sakhis would always be around Radharani, Srimati Radharani, enhancing her mood of devotion. Like that, they both would spend. So, His Grace Jananivas Prabhu told us, you can assist the Lord by singing appropriate poetry as per his mood, because Mahaprabhu experiences different types of ecstasies. How many of you think it's a little difficult to assist Mahaprabhu by enhancing his mood by singing the right shloka and right poetry? Because if you sing a wrong shloka, he'll become angry on you. You should not be rasabas. Correct. How many of you think it's a little difficult? The other way you can assist him is by expanding the mission by book distribution, which our His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu has taken it as his life and soul. You want to applause? All of us also decided that day that, assisting in the preaching mission, which is very pleasing to Lord Chaitanya, is a very wonderful thing to do. Therefore, I'm going to highlight on that only today. Okay, that aspect of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he's going to South India. So there are 10 E's in the preaching mission, which you will learn, the 10 techniques which Mahaprabhu used when he was going to South India. So the South India tour is explained in the Madhya Lila, 7, 8, 9 chapters. You will read about it. If you are more interested, you can read the Madhya Lila, you will get to know. So before leaving for South India, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Alarnath, the outskirts of Puri, and he's taking darshan of Alarnath here. And something very wonderful happened in the Alarnath, you will see that. See, Lord Chaitanya's Harinam Sankirtan is non-different from Krishna's rasa dance in the spiritual world. Prabhupada explains this in many places. Actually, Krishna's rasa dance, which Lord Krishna performs with the gopis, is very esoteric and very advanced. And for us to get entry into the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and understand all those things, finer, subtler emotions of Krishna and the gopis is very advanced subject it is. But if we join Lord Chaitanya's mission in Sankirtan, you will see that Sankirtan purifies our heart to such a degree. Our heart will shine like a mirror where Krishna will reflect with all his devotees. Gopas, gopis, everything. The whole Golaka will manifest in our heart if we take part in Sankirtan movement. And therefore, assisting in the Sankirtan mission is as good as assisting the gopis of Vrindavan. One time a devotee told another devotee, when you are going and distributing books, it's like the Nitya Sakhis standing in Vrindavan forest and showing the other Sakhis where the Vamshivat tree is under which Krishna is playing on the flute. So one group of category of devotees called Nitya Sakhis, they would be guiding the other gopis to go there to join the rasa dance. So when this devotee heard, he thought it is too esoteric. So he came to Prabhupada to complain. Prabhupada is saying that, book distribution is like, sending the gopis to meet Krishna. It's like that. He says, what do you think? Is he bluffing or not? Prabhupada said, perfect, he said. His understanding is perfect. That means if you go and give a book to somebody, you're connecting him to Krishna. It's exactly like the Nitya Sakhi is connecting all the gopis to the great rasa dance in the spiritual world. Therefore, they both are similar. So, Chaudikete Sabaloka Bale Hari Hari. Everybody? Prema Veshe Madhya Nritya Kare Gaura Hari. See, Dik means direction. Chaudikete means in 4 directions. Loka Bale Hari Hari. When all the people assembled in Alarnath, hundreds and thousands of the people of the village of Alarnath, they assembled there, and they saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu singing and dancing in great ecstasy. When they saw his ecstasy, their hair stood on end, their bodies started trembling. They felt ecstasy also. See, ecstasy is very contagious. It jumps from one devotee to another. Sometimes you may have experience, some devotee is doing kirtan, you hear the kirtan and you feel tears in your eyes because the ecstasy of a very advanced pure devotee, it moves like waves and touches the other devotees also. That's called Ratyabhas, we call it, in Nectar of Devotion. So they felt ecstasy. Everybody said, Hari, Hari, they said. So Prema Veshe means with great ecstasy, Madhye Nritya. And Mahaprabhu was dancing in the midst of all of them. Kanchana Sadrisha Deha Aruna Vasana Pulakashrupam Pasveda Tahate Bhushana. But Chaitanya's body was like a gold, molten gold, it was color, was shining color. And in that body he was wearing a saffron color cloth. And he looked very effulgent. And his body was decorated with prema symptoms, like there were tears in his eyes, hair was standing on end. He appeared extremely beautiful to look at in that ecstatic form. The real beauty of a devotee is his devotion. So they all appreciated the devotion of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. So Lord Chaitanya in Alarnath. Dekhiya loke ramane haila chamatkara Yata loka aise keh nahi aya ghara. So he's saying, Dekya lokera mane haile chamatkar. When people saw that dance and kirtan of Lord Chaitanya, some kind of astonishing thing happened in their heart. He says, what is that something that happens in the heart? We all have experienced. The experience of bhakti is very, very intense and very powerful. One time, I had gone to this a place called Chandigarh. From there, they said there's going to be a Rath Yatra. So that was my first Rath Yatra I attended. So I had gone to attend the Rath Yatra. And I heard a very, very powerful, vibrant kirtan going on there. So the kirtan was like this. This is the first tune I heard in that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare tune I heard there, and I tried to go near the kirtan singer and the mridangam. There were almost 5-6 fellows. They were very hefty fellows, and they're beating mridanga like anything, and their whole bodies were profusely sweating. Powerful mridanga, and one fellow was playing a big vampire also. I was the new devotee, young in ISKCON at the time, so they're playing such kartal and mridangam, and in the middle one Maharaja was singing, one Loknath Maharaj was singing in the middle. And I joined the kirtan. Almost 5 kilometers we walked. I never can say I walked. I was only floating. And I didn't realize that I am moving such a distance. Because the kirtan was carrying us like that. So, and we felt so much ecstasy in that kirtan. After that, I also started practicing the vampire. Of course, you have to have earplugs when you play a big vampire very loudly. Sometimes in ISKCON can be very loud also. So that's what he's saying. Dekya lokera mane haila chamatkar. Some excitement came in the hearts of people when they heard that kirtan and dance of Mahaprabhu. And yata loka, I say, those people who came there, nahi ayagar, they never wanted to go home. They decided that let us stay here only forever. Like sometimes devotees say that in yatra, when they come for yatra, they say after 1 or 2 weeks, they say, we feel like just staying in the dham. But then you have to go back and preach also. Prabhupada told in Mayapur once, devotees told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we love the Dham Yatra so much. And Prabhupada said, so therefore you just stay in Mayapur all your life, right? Prabhupada asked. Yes, Prabhupada, he said, but who will preach? So go back and preach, he said. So, in this way people were magnetically attracted to the kirtan. Keha nache keha gaya Sri Krishna Gopal. Premete bhasila loka stri vridha abal. Somebody was dancing, somebody was singing, and what were they singing is explained. And who were singing? Stri vridha abal. There were women, there were old people, there were children also in that. All types of people, just as you see here, community of devotees. Everybody was there. And what were they singing? They were singing names of Krishna and Gopal. Jaya Govinda, Jaya Gopal, Kesava Madhava Lina Gaya. Jaya Govinda, Jaya Gopal, Kesava Madhava. Dina Dayal, Prabhu Dina Dayal. Dina Dayal. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So they were singing the name of Krishna, Gopal, Govinda, such names. And they were all floating in Premete Bhasil Loka, he says. They were floating in the ocean of bliss. All of them. They forgot the external world. See how beautiful the picture is. See? Mahaprabhu and associates are dancing in the middle and others are joining. Dekhi Nityananda Prabhu kahe bhakta gane. Yei rupe nritya age habe grame grame. When Lord Nityananda saw the sight of this beautiful ecstatic kirtan, he made a comment. This kind of kirtan will happen in every town and village all over the world. Haribol! See, this is the prediction given by whom? Nityananda Prabhu. There is another prediction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We all know that. Prithivite achaya dinagara digram sarvatra prachara hoiba moranam. That's another one. Huh? So in this way, this is a prediction by Lord Nityananda. Yeah. From here starts the actual preaching. Katakshane rahi Prabhu tare alingiya. Vidaya karila tare shakti sanchariya. So, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded from Alarnath to South India, what was the mantra that he would often chant? Of course, Hare Krishna mantra he sang also. There is another mantra he would chant when he was going to South. Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pagi, Ma. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So like that Mahaprabhu would sing and dance, and his kirtan was so relishable to everybody. People would come out of the village to watch it, hundreds of them, and then they would go with Mahaprabhu. He would actually magnetically attract them and carry them with him as he was proceeding. So here a very important thing is said, Katakshane Rahi Prabhu, wherever he saw people showing interest, he did not go away, he stayed there for some time. So that then he would stop the kirtan and he would speak about Krishna. He would tell about Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's teachings in Gita, especially Sambandha Jnana. The first thing is you are not the body. Who are you? The spirit soul. And then the spirit soul is not God. God is Krishna. We are only servant. God created, sun. We can only make a mercury bulb. God made oceans. We can only make a swimming pool. Isn't it? Yeah. We all make dolls, but God made us all. He has made all of us. One should think about what is God's power, what is our power, isn't it? God has put Jupiter and Saturn and such big planets in orbit. We can only put a Sputnik in orbit. Our power is very limited. So he taught the difference between soul and God and the loving relationship between the two, Sambandha Jnana. And who am I? Jivara Swarupa Hoy, Krishna Das. This is the main thing he taught. And told them, all you need to do in your life is just chant Krishna's names and take only Krishna Prasad with your tongue. vibrate the tongue with the holy name of Krishna and glorify Him, His pastimes. And also with the mouth you eat. Because the tongue has two activities, vibrating and, and eating. So this kind of, he would actually, Katakshana Rahi Prabhu Tare Alingya. So that Alingya word is not only just embrace. Prabhupada explains the purport of this verse if you read. Prabhupada says, you see what he says. This spiritual potency is the essence of the pleasure potency and knowledge potency. By these two potencies, one is empowered with devotional service. This is Hladini Shakti and Sambit Shakti. Hladini means you feel bliss in Krishna consciousness, ecstasy. And Sambit Shakti means you have the wisdom, knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So we need both, the combination of these two things which you get. That's what Mahaprabhu gave them. Anyone favored by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was empowered with this Bhakti Shakti, which is a combination of two Shaktis. It's called Swarup Shakti or Bhakti Shakti, combination of Sambit Shakti, Hladini Shakti. Thus the Lord's followers were able to preach Krishna consciousness by divine grace. And they also gave knowledge and bliss to everybody. So when you go to give people books, you are giving them knowledge. And when you do Harinam Sankirtan, you give them bliss also, chanting and dancing. And of course prasadam also along with that, correct, no? So Prabhupada used the word Sankirtan for three things he used. You will see in the context in the letters of Prabhupada. One is book distribution, prasadam distribution, and Harinam Sankirtan. For all the three, use the word Sankirtan interchangeably. Because in Pune, when we go for Harinam Sankirtan in the evening, we go with all the three. We carry prasad also, we do Harinam Sankirtan, and we have books also with us. The first thing, as soon as anybody comes, you give them prasadam in the hand. And they see the Sankirtan and they clap hands. Then you show the books. Then they take the books also. So in this way, Mahaprabhu, he stayed for a while and then made people embrace the path of Bhakti Yoga. And Vidya Karila, when he was leaving them, Shakti Sancharya, he gave them the Krishna Shakti to them. So what is that Krishna Shakti? When one hears from a pure devotee, then a transformation happens in the heart of the hearer. Just like Mrigari, a cruel Mrigari became compassionate Mrigari. A crying Arjuna became confident Arjuna. A proud Rahugana became humble Rahugana. You will see that, isn't it? In this way, there will be a heart change which you can experience when you are associated with advanced devotees. You all know the story of one merchant, who was worshipping Shiva, and then Shiva sent him to Sanatana Goswami, correct, no? And Sanatana Goswami gave him one touchstone, which he didn't give him, it was lying in a garbage. So about that, I was reading in the book by His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj and Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. He brought out one very good realization, priceless jewel-like realization. What he says, when this man picked up that touchstone from the dustbin, and he went home and touched everything and made it into gold, was he satisfied? No. Then he came back to Sanatana Goswami and said, I made so much gold, still I am not very happy. But I see that you have thrown it away in the dustbin, and I saw you even before that you have always been happy. What is the secret of your happiness? So there Maharaj gives the commentary. He says that although the man made many gold, in his back of his mind he was always thinking of Sanatan. He saw the renunciation of Sanatan, purity of Sanatan, bliss of Sanatan, Sanatana Goswami. By remembering that, he again came back to him and got the Mahamantra from him. This is called Sadhu Sangha. So the Sadhu Sangha actually awakens love for Krishna and purifies our attachments. So in this way, that is actually the Shakti, Krishna Shakti, when one gets, one's attraction is increased. You read, I'll give you one homework verse, 1.8.36. Bhagavatam, first canto, Kuntimanani chapter, 1.8.36. There Prabhupada says, the hearing that we do should awaken our attraction to Krishna. And if it is not doing, we have to check out what am I hearing, we have to check it. So, in this way, Mahaprabhu invested Krishna Bhakti in them and he proceeded further. Sei jana nija grame kari agamana Krishna bali hase kande nache anukshana. See, on the left side I am showing one by one all the E's. First Mahaprabhu embraced them and invested knowledge also in them. Not only you should give love and care to the new people, but you should also give them the Krishna conscious knowledge also. See, Krishna conscious knowledge is like the product, and your love and care and the affection that you show is like a package. My senior, our one Radha Gopinath Prabhu used to say, if you have to correct a devotee, you have to correct in such a way that the devotee will happily take it. How do you do that? He was asking. None of us could answer because we have experience of correcting a devotee and getting into problem oftentimes. He said correction should be like a iron fist with a velvet gloves, he said. If somebody gives like that, and you say, oh, velvet gloves, nice, very nice. You feel like that. Huh? Similarly, he said, tell the truth, but tell it in such a sweet way that the devotee can take it. Similarly, tell the truth that Krishna is supreme. We are his servant. Unless you love and serve him, you can never be happy. Say the same thing, but in what way? In a very sweet way. So, I always found His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu's big, broad smile and his welcoming arms, or anybody giving books and everybody, I always seen that anybody and everybody in the world, his speech and his disposition attracts people, even before the knowledge reaches their ears. So people are very attracted and then they are open to listen, isn't it? So Mahaprabhu taught them both how to carry the bliss, because if you are not a happy devotee, you cannot make devotees, is it not? Imagine somebody is frustrated in devotion service. You go to call some people, please come for the program, you call. They will ask you, why are you so tired? Too much of service, I am tired, if you say. They will say, I don't want to be like you. Correct? So you have to be happy, is it not true? So therefore, Mahaprabhu gave them both, wisdom and bliss he gave them, embrace. And he empowered them. Shakti Sanchariya, what is empowerment? He made so many devotees in one village and they all went to their villages. And what they did, Sai Jana Nija Grame, means a man went to his own village. And what he did? Kariya Gamana, when he reached there, what he was doing? Krishna Bale Hase Kande Nache Anukshana, he says. At every moment, this person started saying, Krishna, Krishna. Hase Kande. He was also laughing and he was also crying. So in this way, he experienced great ecstasy, this person, somebody who got the vision of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How wonderful it is. Huh? We had a similar experience. When I was studying in IIT Bombay, I used to attend the programs and we used to go on the weekends to Sunday to the temple. And then we would be, this Kirtan, my Guru Maharaj would sing like this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody. Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, and we would be dancing in the kirtan, and then when you go back, this tune will haunt us. It keep on, you're going back, but it's always in your mind, ringing. Hare Krishna, same tune, ringing again. So one day I was in the lab doing my interface experiment. Of course, I was in master's, so there was nobody in the lab except me. It's a small lab. I put on the experiment, and this tune came to my mind. I started dancing in the lab. Going forward and backward, I was dancing. Suddenly, my guide unexpectedly arrived there. Guide said, hey, Radheshyam, you are dancing? What makes you dance? I said, you come to our temple, then you will also start dancing. How many of you have this experience of Hare Krishna tune haunted you? Correct, no? So, this fellow had heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sing the tune. And then when he went back to his village, he was also singing, he was dancing. Constantly, Krishna was coming out of his mouth. Same thing happened to Sarva Bhattacharya. By associating with Mahaprabhu, next day morning when he got up, when Mahaprabhu came and battered the door, while opening the door, what he said? Krishna, Krishna, he said. Immediately, it just erupted from his heart. It became natural for him. See, when you're walking on the road, a thorn pricks your feet. What will you say? Some people say, Amma, they say. Some people say, Appa, they say. Some people say bad words also, some people say. But after you become devotee, hey Govinda, hey Gopal, hey Narasimha. Like that you will say, isn't it? His Grace Sankarshan was telling, in one temple, some hoodlums came to attack the temple. So devotees said, oh Narasimha, they said. Hoodlums ran away immediately. They got frightened. The Narasimha drove them away. So, In this way, a devotee who becomes a devotee, gradually, anybody speaks anything, somebody was shouting in the railway station when I saw, it looked like he's saying Haribol. Huh? Any of you experience of this? Haribol, he's not saying Haribol, he's saying something else. But you will hear Haribol because you are with devotees, you are reading the books. Huh? Anybody speaks anything, it looks close to Krishna, you will say. Huh? So this fellow, when he went to the village, people saw him totally different. Huh? They saw him, right? He was an average man like you and me. Now he is singing Krishna's names. He is dancing and he seems to be most happy. Huh? So that's the third thing. See the third point, enjoy is written. That means we have to relish Krishna consciousness. You cannot do it simply for the sake of duty. If somebody is saying, you ask him, why are you coming to class? I am supposed to come to class. If somebody says, I am supposed to go for book distribution. I am supposed to go for Harinam because otherwise they will take the name list who all went and who didn't go. Huh? So that is not that attractive, you see. Of course, at least if you go that way also, it's better than not going at all. Huh? But best is what? We should relish Krishna consciousness. So those who are happy devotees are the ones whose preaching will be very effective. Huh? So by our own practice. That's what he is saying in this verse, Anukshan. Yare deke tare kahe kaha Krishna naam. Yai mata Vaishnava Kailasa bani jagram. See, it is not enough for you to only relish Krishna consciousness yourself. You should also be sympathetic to the suffering souls and also give them Krishna consciousness. One should make a little effort. That's why the word endeavor is written there. So what this person did, he went home, he made an altar for Krishna and he offered flowers, he offered fruits, he offered bhoga, and then he took only prasad, he wore kantimala, and he also, cut his hair and clipped it short, and then wore a nice tilak, and he was chanting on beads. And then in the village, whomever he would meet, he would tell them about what he is doing. That's what he said here. Yare deke, tare kahe, kaha Krishna naam. You would see somebody and say, hey, say Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, you would tell them. So, we should not hesitate to tell people to chant Hare Krishna. Sometimes devotees too much hide themselves. They say, don't put tilak, keep kantimala inside, Don't say Krishna, shh. Don't say Prabhupada, shh. So they try to hide. So one of my students in Pune, he was working in an IT company. He thought that if I reveal I am a devotee, somebody may tease me, my friends may tease me. So he was hiding everything. And he was taking prasad daba from the temple. So one day his friends were celebrating birthday of somebody. And that colleague of his, that colleague was feeding everybody cake into the mouth. So this fellow was also a part of the team. Generally what he would do, if he takes something, he would give it away to beggars or somebody. But that day that colleague was feeding everybody into the mouth. And this fellow said, no, give it to me, I will take it later. He was telling, two fellows caught his two hands and they put cake into the mouth. And they're putting cake into the mouth. He said, no, I'm a devotee. I don't eat that which is not prasad. He said, the first time they came to know he's a devotee. So I told him, instead of you revealing as a devotee after when you're put to the corner, better you can tell people that you are chanting Hare Krishna and it's good for you. We should not fear to share Krishna consciousness with others. Sometimes we have reservations. We are thinking that, will that person reject me if I give, or he will ridicule me? We have a fear, isn't it? But if you are very positive and approach, they will always be very happy to accept. Even if they don't accept also, you can still be good to them, isn't it? Like for example, you went with a book to some boy. He says, do you have a common sense? I am studying for the exam. I'm preparing for the exam and you're coming and showing me a spiritual book. Is it the time? If he's asking you, then what should you say? Oh, sorry, it's your examination day today. All the best. I'll pray to God that your paper will be good today, okay? Have a nice day. And you go, he will say, come here, please give me a book. If you are good to people, they are likely to call you and take a book. So therefore, we should not fear to endeavor. One devotee was having books, and he was hesitating to give it to one girl. She appeared very morose. To give or not, there was a tussle in his mind. So he didn't give, but she jumped and committed suicide in a railway line. So later on this devotee lamented, 5 minutes ago if I gave her a book, probably her life would have been saved, isn't it? So therefore, endeavor is important from our part. Svacheshta, we should make an effort. Yare deke tare kahe, kaha Krishna naam. Tell them to chant Krishna's names. Ei mata Vaishnava kaila sabha nijagram. That fellow's whole village became devotees. In this way he made, you have seen people like that, correct, no? Like Mike and Jan, for example, they came from New York to San Francisco, isn't it? And when they were staying in San Francisco, they met one of their friends, Sam and Marjorie. So, and Sam was very connecting person with many, many people. He was a very great, he had many musician friends and everybody like that. At that time, Sam and Marjorie were undergoing a very difficult time in their life because of drugs and all those things. They were very severe health issues. So Mike and Jan taught them how to do Mangalarti, how to sing, how to dance, how to chant. They picked it up very quickly. And then they put up a program for Srila Prabhupada. When Prabhupada came, so Mike became Mukunda Maharaj, and then Jan became Janaki, Sam became Shyamsundar Prabhu, and Marjorie became Malati Prabhu. In this way, they all became great devotees, and San Francisco, 50 devotees are waiting to welcome Prabhupada. Because he made an effort. They both told Prabhupada, Mike and Jan told Prabhupada, we are in New York now, but we can go to San Francisco and make an effort to put up a program for you. Prabhupada was very happy with that. And then Prabhupada from San Francisco sent 3 couples to London, isn't it? Yeah, and they lived in shacks. They lived in the side of the roads, in like we have milk booths in India. Like that, in simple booths they lived, And the 3 couples living in a shack simply because of love for the spiritual master. And then eventually you saw what happened in London, the magic that happened in London, how wonderful preaching happened like that. So endeavor is important on the part of the devotees. Just as, gradually Prabhupada expanded to multiple places all over the world. Because Prabhupada says in one letter, one good soul is good enough, he says. Somebody was telling Prabhupada that you are sending too many devotees to too many places. What will happen in case they become weak? Prabhupada said, no, if there is one good soul in one place, that whole place will develop around that good soul. Seeing that soul's sincerity, many others will immediately come and take shelter. There is one letter also of Prabhupada in that connection. So every one of us can try to be one good soul in a small or a bigger area. So, Gramantara haite dekite ailayata jan Tara darshana kripaya hayata rasama Hayata rasama. So, just as you see, this is one family here. When that one family person has become a devotee, now he is going to the same colony people and then telling them about what he received. He is exchanging, he is not keeping it within the family. So, in the same manner, from one village, what happened? Somebody from the neighborhood village, say somebody's sister comes to this village. She is looking at her brother, this fellow is wearing tilak, he has kantimala, his hairstyle has changed, it's clipped short now. And he's singing, dancing. She asked the brother, what happened? What is the new thing you are doing? Then he teaches her, here is the beat back, you chant Hare Krishna. Here is the Bhagavad Gita. Here is the altar. This is the right type of life. By doing this, you go back to Godhead. And then she gets to hear a lot of philosophy nicely. And then she and her husband picks up. Then when she goes to her village in India, generally, they give the daughter in marriage to somebody very close to the neighborhood village, generally, very nearby. They don't, maybe 1 or 2 hours distance. So when this couple goes there, by the time they leave from here and go, they also have tilak. They have tilak, kantimala, japa beads, everything. They go there. That's what he's saying, Gramantara is saying. Gramantara means when one village to another village. So when they come and see and they go, and then that whole village also, Tara Darshana Kripaya, Haya Tara Sama. Tara Sama means like him, they also became devotees. And they also made now that is the exchange, we say. That means relatives exchange with one another. How many of you have seen one person became a devotee in one family and then everybody else also picked up? You have seen that? Correct? Yeah. One sincere soul in a family. One Mataji becomes serious. In Pune, in our preaching program, there has been 3-4 senior ladies. They do a program between 11 to 1. They do, the afternoon time. Some days of the week they do. So that program is only for the ladies. There are 60-80 ladies who would come. And these ladies come to 16 rounds very easily. So later on, they had invited me for one program where I saw there were about 50-60 ladies and 50-60 men had come. So in my lecture, any question I ask, only ladies answer that question. Then I asked the host Mataji that, Mataji, why these men are not answering? Men are supposed to be very intelligent. They must study Shastra and what happened? She said, no, Prabhu, we have called you for the men's sake only. They said, all these ladies have come to 16 rounds now. So your job is to inspire the men also to increase them. Therefore, they have brought their husbands. So you speak in such a way that they can also answer. Please ask some simple questions. So oftentimes I would first give the clue and then ask a question and they would answer. We'll clap hands for them. So all the Matajis are very happy that, thank you for encouraging our husbands. And then we saw that in Pune the crowd started expanding because these one Mataji who became a devotee, they made their husbands into great devotees eventually. There is one Mataji comes to my mind. She's a very senior lady. She told her husband, Ranath Maharaj is coming to Pune. Can you please go and pick him up from the airport? So he went to pick up, and when he was bringing back, the Maharaj talked to him a few words. That was very impactful. Next time, another time, Bhaktarasamrita Maharaj came. He spoke. So this person gave up meat and started chanting 4 rounds. First time 4 rounds, next time 4 rounds. He came to 16. Now he is one of the prominent leaders of Pune. So he became a big leader, and now they have 200-300 people with them. Very good family. Why I am saying this? One member of the family becomes sincere, serious devotee, then they can make many others devotees. That's what happens here. In this way, village to village started expanding now. Yeah. Seyai gramera loka vaishnava karaya anya grame asitare deki vaishnava haya. Like here, you can see similar things spreading in the city. The pictures I have shown here is one devotee in Hyderabad. His name is Leelananda Prabhu. He became a devotee in Boston. When he came to Hyderabad, he was just single family. He and Anuradha Priya Mataji, his good wife. And they have 2 sons they have. But very enthusiastic preacher. So he was preaching in one colony. And eventually, now there are about 200-300 people with him, last 10 years or so. So he sent 15 of his people to different housing colonies to start program. They were very young in Krishna consciousness. They were just newly 16 rounders. In each of those colonies, he would actually tell me, Radheshyam, you come for one month. So I would go to each of these colonies. I saw each program was booming. Very nice. They would put Janmashtami, they would put celebration, everything. So at one time, first time he invited me for 70 Bhagavatam sets distribution. So they had done. So he told everybody that I will sign and give, and we put a sticker. I have almost 20-25 slogans which I write in the Srimad Bhagavatam before giving. So we made the stickers and we stuck and we gave. And next time he brought like 120, 130. Now recently 450 Bhagavatam sets went from his. So in Yadadri we did. So now those 15 programs are booming, and we also do 15 Rath Yatras also we do. I went for each of the Rath Yatras I went. I go for his program quarterly I go. So he's both husband and wife are very dedicated people, and they are very empowering people. In this way, they celebrate 15 Rath Yatras, 15 Janmashtamis, and distributing like a few hundreds of Bhagavatam sets. They have a Goshala also. And actually, he's an IT fellow. His father was very upset with him. He called me and said, Radheshyam Prabhu, see, he hears only you, so you should tell him to go for a job. Actually, he was in America and earned some money and went back to India. But father is not happy with the money. He wants some respectability for the son also, in society. He want him to do some job. So now he got a job now. What is the job? One of his disciples, students only, has a company. He employed him in the job. So which means spiritually he is the boss, and IT company wise his disciple is the boss. And the company is a very adjustable company. When he has a lot of service, they will give him freedom also. Therefore, he is one of the examples I quote always. A very good soul. He expanded like anything in Hyderabad. So here the word explode is used. It's called Hare Krishna explosion. Haigrave Prabhu wrote one book called as Hare Krishna explosion. In this way, explosion means, in the beginning it just goes. This 10,000 wala, they call it one cracker. Any of you played that? You put initially, it will start. After that, it will keep on going on and on. And Prabhupada started that first spark in New York, then San Francisco. Like that he gradually, Los Angeles, then London, then in Australia, Canada, different places like that. He sent different devotees to different places. And even today we find Prabhupada disciples are so first class and so pure. Vaishik Prabhu is a living example, one of such living examples. So because of their loyalty to Prabhupada, faithfulness to Prabhupada, because of their hard work, because they have kept Krishna consciousness as first priority in their life. It is not a side thing for them. This is the thing. Life means Krishna consciousness. Consciousness means Krishna consciousness. Isn't it? They have made it like that. Because of that, we all are here in Krishna consciousness. Because we are seeing the conviction, we want an iota of what they are carrying with them. So, and Prabhupada, in this way, through his disciples, Prabhupada expanded the movement. He started 108 centers. Now there are 900 centers of ISKCON all over the world. If it was not for his disciples, ISKCON would not have expanded the way it expanded. That's called Hare Krishna explosion, different places. So, then, what Mahaprabhu here? Sei ayara grame kare upadesha Jai Mata Vaishnava Haila Sabha Dakshina Desha. So in this way, the whole villages in South India became Krishna conscious, hundreds and thousands. I have a collection of links of videos in South India, different gurus even today who are coming in the Chaitanya's line, who worship Gaurnate also, which is not ISKCON or Gaudiya Math. Other than that, like for example, Krishna Premi Swamigal people, they chant Hare Krishna also. Muralidhar Swamigal, they also chant Hare Krishna, many of them. So, in fact, they take their group to Mayapur to have Chaitanya Lila Katha also. So, these people are coming in the line of Mahaprabhu, but they are under different headings in South India. Even today, you will find plenty of them like that. So, in fact, the gurus have given a kind of instruction to the disciples, husband, wife, and children, and the grandparents, everybody should sit in the home and do Hare Krishna Sankirtan at least half an hour every day. That's just like we chant 16 rounds. They have given them half an hour, they have to sing. So I have videos of many families which are sitting and doing Kirtan. They have put up in the YouTube. You will see that. They are all different Chaitanya followers in South. Yeah. Ye mata pateyaite shata shata jan Vaishnava karena tare karyalinga. In this way, Mahaprabhu, hundreds and hundreds of people gathered to watch him sing and dance like this and teach the knowledge, and they all became Vaishnavas. In this way, Mahaprabhu continued from village to village to village. But one more important thing he would do. Prabhura kripaya haya mahabhagavata Sei sab acharya haya tarila jagata. In every village, what Mahaprabhu would do, when he was doing dancing kirtan, if many people gathered, he would stop the kirtan and speak few minutes. I told you, correct, na? Please to them. But amongst those people who heard attentively, he would identify some men whom he thought are fit to become acharyas for that whole village. They can become gurus and offer shelter to that whole place. And Srila Prabhupada was also very attentive to handpick people. Like when he was giving a lecture, one boy was sitting right in the front and he asked a question to Prabhupada. Swamiji, I am coming here last few days. I like your association and your people are good people. I have only one fear. I am very much into material life now. I want to give up my materialistic friends and come to spiritual life. I am only afraid whether I can make it in spiritual life and become a very strong devotee. It shouldn't happen that I left them and came here, I lost here also, there also. So what will happen? Like that he asked a question. And Prabhupada smiled and said, the same question you are asking was asked by Arjuna to Krishna in the 6th chapter of Gita. Prabhupada said, Krishna gives assurance, nahi kalyana krit kaschit, durgatim tata gacchati. Krishna says, one who is auspicious worker is never destroyed in life. Krishna will personally protect you. Krishna promises you, he said. After that, Prabhupada called one devotee and said, note this fellow's name. He's going to be a great devotee. And he went on to become His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki. He's a personality, you see. So, in this way, you will see that when Mahaprabhu went to village, if he identified some people, he would tell them, I'll come to your house, take me. At night he would stay, whole night they would be discussing Krishna Katha, doing Krishna Kirtan. And then morning, Mahaprabhu would empower him as an acharya and go ahead to the next village. And that one fellow will take care of the spreading of Krishna consciousness in his whole village. Like Prabhupada went to Russia and won. Ivan and Narayan too were there, but Narayan was pious, but Ivan was spiritual minded. Huh? And Prabhupada made Ivan a first class disciple. 3 days Prabhupada spoke a lot of things to him about Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada told the devotees, he is going to be the seed of Krishna consciousness in Russia. Huh? And then he became Ananta Shaktidas Prabhu. And the whole preaching in Russia, what you see today, started from that one devotee. Huh? Like that Mahaprabhu also did, like that, village to village. And the last one, okay. Navadipe yei shakti na kaila prakashe. Se shakti prakashi nistarila dakshina deshe. See, if you are going to preach in some place and people are not responding, don't waste too much time. Try for some time. If people are very dull and they are uninterested, they don't show any cooperation, then you leave the place and go to another place. That's Mahaprabhu's policy. He tried in Navadvip. He saw the Navadvip people are taking him for granted. Then Mahaprabhu left and went to South India. Because in South India, he felt people were very, very... when he went to Srirangam, thousands of people surrounded him and clapped hands and took part in the kirtan. Mahaprabhu therefore went to places which are ripe and which are receptive. In our preaching also we can try for some time. Don't break our head in a place where nobody is interested. That's the point of exit. So he would exit. Prabhu ke bhaje tare tara kripa haya. Sei se sabalila satya karilaya. लौकिक लीलाए यार ना हय विश्वास इहलोक परलोक तार हय नाश. So these pastimes are esoteric. He says, Prabhu ke bhaje tare tara kripa haya sei se sabalila satya karila. Actually, how many thousands and millions of people became devotees, you may wonder. They all went back to Godhead. So one may wonder, are such pastimes really possible? Yes, there are certain activities which Krishna does are miraculous, which are not ordinary. But one should not take them as falsity or exaggeration. They are not exaggeration. Such things can happen, and Mahaprabhu, being Krishna himself, can do. For example, in Mahaprabhu's time, instantly he gave Krishna Prema to Narayani by giving his Mahaprasad to her. Instantly gave to Jagaya Madai Krishna Prema. How they transformed, maybe appearing little unbelievable for you. But Mahaprabhu, being Krishna himself, has that potency to do that. Aparadha also took effect very quickly. Amoga offended Mahaprabhu, immediately got cholera. Correct, instantly. So instant punishment and instant Krishna Prema also. Both are given Mahaprabhu's times. So don't doubt these pastimes, and such things are quite possible, like that he is saying. So Srila Prabhupada also, in the same manner, spread. You see, he is preaching in India to people. And then he went to Sumati Morarji, got the ticket for Jaladut. And then on the way, he suffered a couple of heart attacks and he didn't go back to India. He stayed. And then all the Dashavataras and Governor came and gave him assurance. Don't worry, don't fear, we are here. We will take care of you. Preach in America, you will be successful. They gave him assurance. Krishna personally gave assurance to Prabhupada. And then very boldly he entered America, 1965, and preached in the hippie land, made hippies into happies, and eventually rest is history. What you see, he was so successful. Now the internationally acclaimed Temple of Vedic Planetarium is coming up in Mayapur now, the 1,000-acre land. It's going to be a jewel of the whole world. Everybody can, 25,000 devotees can assemble in the temple hall and do Sankirtan. Very big hall, it's 1-acre hall it is. Very big, it's coming up. Similarly, thousands of devotees, their books are, millions of books are being distributed. And Vaisheshik was made the global duty officer for the whole world book distribution. So earlier also, he has been doing exceedingly well. He was inspiring. And unofficially, he was doing a lot also. But when he was given official position, he has taken to his heart. And now, you can see how many Bhagavad Gitas are going every year. You can see the scores all over the world. He also takes many international meetings for devotees in India several times. And he has got prominent people fixed up in different places. He knows whom to connect with, which place, so that he can reach out to large number of people. All the leaders he is able to get. On one hand, he encourages them. On the other hand, he demands accountability. Both. And then whether it is Bhadra Purnima, whether it is Marathon. So the millions of books are going because proper disciples like him are behind it. There is also Padayatra worldwide, Prasadam distribution worldwide. See, this is an article from India Republic newspaper. Most successful Indian in America, Srila Prabhupada. The recent 2022 was published. So Prabhupada followed this 10E formula given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Reached out in a very powerful manner. So we can also, following in footsteps of Prabhupada and his disciples, try our lot. We may be like a squirrel. At least we can put our small stone in making Setubandh. Our part, whatever we can do. So in this way, you see, when you read Srila Prabhupada's books, we are sitting in his divine presence, hearing and speaking. When we follow what is in the books, we get realizations. You see? So this is Srila Prabhupada's books. So many temples are manifested eventually. You see? So anyway, after that the Kurma Brahman is coming after that. But I will conclude with this. Exactly 5 o'clock I have finished. I kept the promise to finish on time. Okay. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry for my being too much talkative. I exceeded till 5 o'clock. I didn't leave any time. I'm sorry.
We're transformed by your presence here. The fact that you have us on your list, on your radar, that you're coming here regularly is transforming us. One lecture at a time. Every time we have a chance to talk to you, you inspire us in such a gentle way, but you're showing us the way forward. We feel that Lord Chaitanya has sent you here specifically to help take us to the next level, as otherwise we sit here and languish on some plateau. So we respect you as the representative of Lord Chaitanya. I asked His Holiness Radhanath Swami, he said, not many people are intelligent enough to take advantage of Radheshyam Prabhu's association. I didn't want to be on that list. I thank all the devotees who have made special endeavor to make sure that you come here. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your example that you set as a gentle Vaishnav. Just seeing you instills on us a sense of natural devotion. You can't make advancement unless you see a Vaishnav and you hear a Vaishnav and you notice how a Vaishnav moves in the world. So we see you in that way. And we're praying that we can have your association more and more, and whatever instructions you give, we'll follow those and come to the next level so that you'll feel that ecstasy that you mentioned as one of the E's on the list. I think it was one of them. Anyway, we'll do the E for endeavor. We'll pick an E and work on it.
I heard somebody told me that you had a 1 million target and you all reached the target this year, I heard. Isn't it?
Yes.
Correct, no?
We have $1 million to the BBT.
Yeah.
1 million plus. We
we'll
don't know how it happened.
So you are very smart and always keeping everybody at the edge of the seat, running. You keep that enthusiasm level ever increasing. Anandambadi Vardhanam. I was just describing your glories through this pastime. I got an opportunity. So who am I to give any instruction to anybody? In fact, I have to learn to come out of my cozy state of comfort, state of comfortable zone by seeing you and seeing the devotees here. It's a great joy when I come here. I get charged up and inspired when I come.
Prabhu, we will be on the edge of our seats. In fact, I'm moving up there right now. Until the next time when you come back, and we hope to expedite that by expanding the preaching so much here in the ways that you're suggesting that you'll feel compelled to come back more regularly. From the bottom of our hearts, dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Gauranitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please keep us in the association of our dear Radheshyam Prabhu. Let us take advantage of his example and the instructions that he gives. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone who agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, please unmute and say Hare Krishna.